Hi everyone. Today we're going to be looking at Jordan Peterson Carnivore Diet, published on drkilts.com, written by Liam McCullough. So this is quite an interesting topic. After I made my last video, a few people they requested that I actually look at Jordan Peterson's diet, which is quite unusual and quite interesting. So I thought we could do that today. Firstly, if we look at what diet Jordan Peterson adopted, he initially only consumed steak, water, and salt. And later he started to include meat and greens with his diet after 2 months. And he did this to broaden out his diet a little bit. Peterson was first introduced to the benefits of a carnivore diet by his daughter, Michaela. By the time she was 22, Michaela had been diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis, bipolar disorder, hypersomnia, Lyme's disease, psoriasis, and eczema. She credits the carnivore diet for sending all of these diagnoses into remission. When she started to eat only meat, for example, and restrict everything else from her diet, a lot of this cleared up. And as you can see here in the image, meat actually contains an awful lot of stuff, which is pretty good for you. After seeing Michaela's transformation, Jordan Peterson tried the diet himself. To begin the diet, he followed the strict Lion diet elimination protocol for 2 months. Then he practiced a very low-carb, modified carnivore diet consisting of only meat and greens for a year. Peterson told Joe Rogan he lost 50 pounds. His appetite has probably fallen by 70%. He said he doesn't get blood sugar dysregulation problems and he needs less sleep. He says also his gum disease has cleared up. He also says that he's gained a bit more mental sharpness and it's helped reduce his anxiety. Peterson had also been suffering from depression, which seemed to be helped when he switched to the carnivore diet. I don't know if this would benefit everyone, but certainly with Jordan Peterson and his daughter's autoimmune disorder, I think this probably did help an awful lot. So it is important to note that a carnivore diet is essentially a keto diet. Keto basically means fat or ketones, which are fats which the body can use as energy, which also means consuming high fat, low carb, and moderate protein. Low carb, high fat, you actually tend to lose weight, and that's what a lot of people have reported. Researchers like Amber O'Heron suggest that humans are not just carnivores, but we are lipivores. So this is actually true. Human beings really started off in an evolutionary niche where after all the other animals had scavenged the bones of a creature, we could come along and we could use tools to smash bones open and to consume the marrow out of them. So the traditional Maasai men eat nothing but meat, often 3 to 5 pounds each day during celebratory meals, along with blood and half a gallon of full-fat milk from their zebu cattle. Now, the zebu cattle apparently the milk contains a lot more animal fat than cows typically do. Well, Westerners are generally very sedentary compared to other kinds of people around the world. You know, we sit down an awful lot, we work in offices, we're not really out and about. We may not actually burn the same amount of energy as other kinds of people who may be on a higher fat diet. Of course, there's another example here of the Inuit who thrived on seal, walrus, whale, and fish. Fish being very high in omega-3. And it's actually believed that when human beings evolved, we ate a lot of seafood as well. That's a lot of healthy oils like omega-3, which would really benefit us and help develop our brain. The above populations all showed remarkably good markers for cardiovascular health and extremely low incidence of the diseases of civilization, including diabetes, osteoporosis, cancers, and heart disease. The other thing is, of course, the Inuit live in a very, very cold environment. The ravages of a high-carb Western diet were tragically visited upon the Inuit. After contact with the West from 1955 to 1967, refined carbohydrates went from 0% to 50% of their caloric intake. This resulted in widespread incidence of heart disease and dental cavities. I don't know if you kind of grow up on a diet that's rich in carbohydrates, if it has such a bad effect on you. But certainly if you go from eating mostly fats and proteins to eating a lot of carbohydrates, it seems to have a very negative effect on people. And bear in mind, when human agriculture started, the first agriculturalists basically ate a lot of grains, and they worked very hard to create these grains, and they were small, and they were sick, and they didn't have any teeth, and they were unbelievably unhealthy, eating basically a lot of grains. So again, obviously, I'm not an expert or a doctor or anything like that. I'm just someone who's interested in Peterson's diets. You actually don't need to eat any carbohydrates whatsoever, because the few sugars that your body needs can be synthesized through a process called glucogenesis. But again, like I say, if you've got any kind of medical issues, then you absolutely need to, speak to your doctor, etc. This isn't medical advice or dietary advice. I just found this interesting. Anyway, guys, I think that's pretty much it for the article. Thank you very much for listening. I hope this was informative, and I will speak to you guys soon. Also, a quick shout out to you guys. I recently reached about 1,000 subscribers, so thank you so much for that. It really does mean a lot, and it's a great milestone. Cool. Have a great day, and speak to you guys soon.